This is the War Brief Daily for April 2nd, 2026, covering the Russia-Ukraine theater. Tonight, we are tracking 4 key developments. Russia's largest drone campaign of recent weeks, deploying a dangerous new two-wave tactic. The Kremlin's third false claim of capturing Luhansk Oblast, paired with maximalist ceasefire demands. Confirmed Ukrainian strikes on a Russian cruise missile factory and Baltic Sea oil infrastructure, and new data revealing structural strain inside Russia's military recruitment pipeline. First confirmed, Russian forces launched 700 drones against Ukraine across a 24-hour window ending April 1st. This was not one strike, it was 2. A first wave of 339 drones flew overnight. Ukrainian air defenses down 298. A second wave of 361 drones, roughly 250 of them Shaheds, flew westward in daylight hours. Ukrainian forces down 345, but 14 hit their targets. 4 civilians were killed in Cherkasy Oblast when they approached a downed drone whose warhead detonated. This is confirmed by the Cherkasy Oblast Military Administration and Prosecutor's Office. ISW identifies this as a deliberate doctrinal shift, directly mirroring Iran's current strike playbook against Israel. By spreading launches across day and night, Russia extends air raid alerts, strains air defenses, and exploits a behavioral gap. Ukrainians conditioned to overnight alerts are less primed to shelter during daylight. For context, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense reported an 89.9% intercept rate across all of March 2026. 5,935 missiles and drones neutralized. The new tactic is engineered to erode that number. Second, confirmed. Russia's Ministry of Defense claimed on April 1 that Russian forces have seized the entirety of Luhansk Oblast. This is false. It is the third time this claim has been made during the war. ISW confirms Russian forces control 99.84% of the oblast, but not the villages of Nadia and Novoyehorivka. Simultaneously, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov demanded Ukraine withdraw from Donetsk Oblast, quote, today, ideally yesterday. A State Duma member escalated further, publicly calling for demands to extend to Zaporizhia, Kherson, and the cities of Odessa, Mykolaiv, Dnipro, and Kharkiv. ISW's assessment is direct. These demands do not reflect battlefield realities. This is cognitive warfare, not military capability. Third, confirmed. The Ukrainian General Staff confirmed strikes on the Strela Joint Stock Company in Bryansk Oblast, a verified cruise missile production facility. Ukraine is now attacking the factory building the weapons currently being used against Ukrainian cities, compressing Russia's long-range strike capacity at both ends of the pipeline simultaneously. Satellite imagery from Planet Labs and NASA firms' thermal data confirm ongoing fires and structural damage at the Ust-Luga and Primorsk oil terminals in Leningrad Oblast, following more than a week of sustained Ukrainian strikes. Bloomberg reports European governments estimate Russia could gain an additional $40 billion in oil revenue if Ural's crude prices stay elevated through 2026, making this infrastructure campaign strategically significant beyond the immediate battlefield. On the front lines, Ukrainian forces recorded confirmed advances in the Pokrovsk direction at Hershine and in the Hulyai-Pole direction east of Zalaznichne. A Russian platoon-level motorcycle assault in the Slovyansk direction was fully repelled. 16 motorcycles, 32 service members eliminated. One single-source telegram report suggests Russia's 106th VDV division may redeploy from Sumy to Kherson Oblast by mid-April. That is not confirmed. On force generation, Russian opposition outlet Daily reports Moscow universities are being covertly pressured to funnel at least 2% of male students into military contracts, a potential pool of 44,000 recruits. Ukraine's Unmanned Systems Forces commander confirmed that Russia's voluntary recruitment rate fell below its battlefield casualty rate in March for the fourth consecutive month. That is a structural fracture. Separately, the European Commission confirmed a transfer of 1.4 billion euros to Ukraine, drawn from frozen Russian asset interest proceeds. Watch the next 48 hours for continuation of the two-wave drone tactic, satellite updates on damage at Ust-Luga and Primorsk, and any movement on the Pokrovsk axis, which General Syrski confirmed remains the most active and operationally decisive sector on the front. That is your War Brief Daily for April 2nd, 2026.